Heal the world, make it a better place for you and for me and the entire human race. There are people dying. If you care enough for the living, make a better place for you and for me. Hey everybody, Lady Cheryl here, and I want to welcome you to my YouTube channel. In this episode, I am so excited to share with you how I'm going to start hardening off my seedlings that I have been growing in the house. These particular seedlings I started in December, and they are cold tolerant somewhat. So I am going to show you how I harden off my seedlings. I used to do it the old-fashioned way by letting them go outside on some sunny, warm days and bringing them back and forth, let them stay out there about 15 minutes and increase in 15-minute increments until they can tolerate the full sun. But because I'm going to be transitioning all of my seedlings out to the greenhouse by the last week in February, first week in March, depending on the weather, I learned a couple of years ago that if I can filter the sun in the greenhouse with shade cloths, then I don't have to put them out into the full sun. So I'm going to start off with my peas, spinach, and I think morning glories and elderberry saplings. And I'll show you exactly step by step what I do. Okay? Come on, let's get out to the greenhouse. Change of plans. Right after I made that introduction to this video, I realized that we were getting ready to be hit with an ice storm. So I changed my plans. I waited until the ice storm was over, and that's when I decided it was time to move all of the seedlings to the greenhouse. Before I take all of these seedlings outside, I thought I'd bring them close to the patio door so that you can see all the work that I've been doing. I'm gonna go closer so you can see the zinnias, marigolds, eggplants, Japanese sorrel. Right here we have patty pan squash, more eggplant, more marigolds, purple top turnip, zinnias, sorrel. I mean, guys, I got a lot of stuff growing in here. Whoa. Just beautiful. Okra, basil, different types. You see that red purplish basil, and the regular, I think it's Genevieve basil. A lot of turnips, because I have discovered that the turnips, if you can cook them well, they will be an excellent potato substitute. If it sounds like I'm out of breath, it is the truth, because I moved everything off of the shelves. And right here I have wasabi radish and China red rose radish. Over here you see a lot of bell peppers, a lot of sweet peppers. Beautiful, just beautiful. Peppers on them already. These are the ones that were topped. So let me move back and let you see how much they have grown out. Now, let's go to... On this folding table, I have a really large tote. It's 105 quarts. And you see peas and spinach and elderberry cuttings. Look at these. They're just winding on up on everything. So these need to go out pronto. But we got that ice storm, so I had to delay the transition. Beautiful spinach there. Giant noble spinach. Now, let me go over to this table. And as you can see here, we've got beautiful dill, a lot of tomato plants, cucumbers, elderberries, because I'm going to do a little hedge of elderberries, so I don't have any more for sale. And right in here, you see a lot of eggplant, more basil, more zinnias, A lot of repeats. And then we have a lot of the white Texas Star Hibiscus as well as the red. And how I can distinguish them, there's a different coloring in the leaves, the white, and this is the white one. It's more lime-like, and you see that W up under there. Let me know that's a white. And the red looks a little bit different. Right here, you see some little like red tips. And I'm positive this would be a red hibiscus, which would be RH. Okay, and I did a little experimenting by putting a little perlite at the top to see if it'll keep down fungus gnats. It didn't work. But the little sticky tape or paper, I cut some of them up and stuck them into some plants that attract a lot of gnats. And my experience has taught me that the basil, marigolds, like right here and here, they repel insects, so the fungus gnats don't bother them, okay? And I think this is the African, I know it is. Miss Ellen, Auntie Ellen gave me a giant African. It says BC, I gotta figure that what it is in my notes, but I'm pretty sure that's the African marigold. And then I think I showed you, yes, I showed you this big container here. So that's what's all on this table. Now I have some other seedlings. Let me go and show you. Under the heating pads, I'm still germinating a red bush bean and I think it's Blue Lake 274 beans. We have some chamomile here. I need a lot of it for my tea. I'm just so blessed that people sent me seeds. And you can see beans popping up in here. And this is a red bean. And what is on here? These are El Dorado zinnias. And so that means this is zinnia as well. It's exquisite. It's a beautiful pink zinnia. And this one you can see it barely coming up. That is chamomile. And I'm trying to grow some soursop. It's taken a long time, but my research has taught me that it took a long time for them to germinate the last time that I did this. Also, I have a lot of chamomile right here, and these seeds were sent to me as well. I'll insert who. And I have purple top rutabaga all in here. I'm going to be potting these up tonight or the morning. I have lavender that was sent to me, as well as this is giant red Japanese mustard. Yep, and some more Japanese red mustards. A lot of tomato plants all in here and back there. Okay. Now here's another table. And you guys know I did succession planting. I'm letting it get a little sunlight, just a little, from this window. And these are the last sunflowers that I potted up. Here is my most beautiful elderberry cutting that I rooted. And that was one of the first ones. So those of you that got some cuttings from me, this is how your cutting should be looking. And remember, I don't fertilize anything until I move everything to the greenhouse. But there is a little fertilizer in the potting mix. Again, another beautiful pepper plant that I topped off. It's loaded with peppers and more marigold and basil. And you don't see any gnats around them. And then down here, up under the table or next to the table on the floor, I have turmeric and ginger. And this is the project I'm going to finish tonight. Let me go in closer. And these are two types of sunflowers. Two jicama plants have germinated, a couple of beans. And you see I got my pots already, my little cups are already ready. Okay, so as you can see, I have quite a lot growing on. So I'm loading it up here. So tomorrow when my son-in-law comes, and we set up tables in the greenhouse and move out all of my citrus trees, then I can set my tables up in the greenhouse, and all of this will be out in the greenhouse. And going further, anything that I germinate will be germinated in the greenhouse. Should there be another cold snap, then we will just heat it. But I'm not worried about it. I'm ready. Okay, guys, I got some help today. You see those 4 trees in those utility carts? 2 satsumas, 1 grapefruit, 1 improved Meyer lemon, and my son-in-law is in the greenhouse bringing another one out, which will be the Lisbon lemon. And then we're gonna move those banana plants out. And then I will put the tables inside so I can bring all the seedlings out to the greenhouse. David, my son-in-law, has all 5 trees out. I'm so happy. And let's take a closer look, because you can see that we have a lot of lemons. Some will fall off. Got a little yellowing here. I'm going to give it some iron. A lot of people think that when you have a yellow wing leaves, it's a nitrogen deficiency, but I've learned for citrus trees it's actually iron. So I'm gonna give it some chelated iron. And you can look close. These are busy working, pollinating. The grapefruit has a lot of blooms. And the Lisbon lemon is back there. And then the 2 satsumas. We have a frost hardy and a Warrian. The frost hardy is called a Warrian satsuma. This one is the Warrian frost hardy, and the one back there is the only one that survived the Arctic freeze last year. It's a Miho satsuma. Okay. Now these trees won't be this close in here because I'm going to empty the soil in these containers because it's too heavy for me to move. So I'm gonna empty them in some real big buckets, and then I'm gonna put them on the patio. Okay, now let's go over back into the greenhouse. As you can see here, he put up 1 table right here so I can bring all my seedlings in. And then I'm walking back here so that you can see that he has another table he put back here and a little small one in that corner. So that just should accommodate all of my seedlings. And I got some little plastic shells that I can use. I need to get the banana plant out of here, water everything, and especially my tomatoes, they need some water. It's going to be 37 or 39 degrees tonight. You see how big that giant green tomato is getting? And I'm not trying to grow any more tomatoes off of these plants. I just want them to ripen, and then I'll put new plants in next month. Okay, so I'll come back when I get all the plants moved. And I'm getting a little winded, so I might not do that until tomorrow. Okay, guys, I have the first 2 104 quart totes filled with seedlings. There's one. Can't see all of it. And then here's another one. And on the outside of the greenhouse, I have 90% shade cloth all the way across the back. That way, the seedlings for the first day will just get a little sun to help them harden off. And each day, I will lower the shade cloth so that it can get more and more sun. So instead of moving back and forth, like I said in the introduction, I'm just going to allow them to get a little filter sun. And I'm going to go to the back of the greenhouse, and I will show you a couple containers that I brought inside the greenhouse. Okay, so you can see that I have 2 shoe boxes and 2 medium-sized totes. And right above here, where the sun comes in a lot, I have another 90% shade cloth just clipped to the frame. And there's actually an opening here that I cut out for a window. Let's see if I can show you. So it can get some good breeze. And I'm just gonna tuck this under here. So the plant can get some wind. But I'll put in a fan if I determine it's not getting enough wind. So now I'm going to stop for the day, and I'll start back Tuesday morning, and I'll fill up these tables. And here is the saffron. It's my first time growing it, so I don't know if it's supposed to be standing up or not, but it's used to full sun, so I thought I'd just put it over here in this corner, okay, where you don't see shade cloth. But only filter sun is coming in from the ceiling here. And if I see, because this is almost like deja vu, if I see these plants these seedlings are getting too much sun, I would drape a 50% shade cloth over them until later on in the day. So I'll be going in and out, checking on my babies. So I'm going to come back tomorrow when I fill up this whole table here, this one over here, and also over here. And I decided to put these 2 large containers here so that I can be able to slide them out when I'm getting ready to plant these seedlings out. Yeah, so I think this will be fine. I'll slide that other one down and load the rest of them on that end. Okay, I'll be back tomorrow. Okay, guys, it's the next day, and I brought some pepper plants out here, and a couple zinnias, elderberry, and my two mimosa trees right in here. And I'm not going to bore you, and bringing you back every time I bring a few boxes or containers of plants out. I'm just going to show you how I got the shade cloth secured to the frame outside, and then I'll come back after I move everything in the greenhouse. Okay, so here's the greenhouse, and you can see that almost to the top of the frame I've attached 90% shade cloths with those little clips, little spring clips. I get them at Home Depot. I think they have them at Lowe's too. And my frame is very secure because you can see a row of concrete cement blocks down here, and that keeps the frame from moving, so I don't have to worry about things falling off the table. Okay, so that's how I have the shade cloth secure on the outside. And all I need to do is, as they get more and more acclimated to the sun, I just will unclip a spring clip and move the shade cloth down, all the way down a couple of feet every day until eventually they will be acclimated or hardened off. Okay guys, it's about noon, and I came out and brought some more plants, but I noticed that too much sun was coming in over in this area because the plants started looking a little wilted. So I just slung some 90% shade cloth the best way I could, nothing spectacular, because it won't be up more than a few days. Okay? So do whatever you have to do. Now I want you to know I have a 50% shade cloth that can cover the whole greenhouse, but it still will be too much sun. And this is the thing that you have to keep in mind. I still have tomatoes in here. They have to have ample sun to finish developing, okay? So I would rather put the shade cloths up instead of moving them in and out of the greenhouse. So I just want these babies to ripen up, and then I'll cut most of this down. Okay. I've just about gotten everything out of the house and into the greenhouse. And I just want to walk down here and show you I had to line this walkway on both sides. I had to put some cups. And the back table is completely covered here and over here. And I still have a few beans and other little seeds that are germinating in the house under a heating mat. I'll move them out here tomorrow. Probably put a shelf stand right here. Everything is going to take off now. I'll make a video in about another week and let you see the transition of the seedlings in the new home in the greenhouse. Thank you so much for watching this video. You guys know I love you very much. Bye now.